Miami Beach police reporting indicates Bieber had marijuana and Xanax in his system when officers arrested him last Thursday for DUI, resisting arrest, and driving on an expired license. Here is just some insight on exactly what went down that night. The officer checked off all these boxes about the singer's behavior, noting he was excited, talkative, used profanity, cooperative, and yet insulting and cocky. These are actually the words on the report. And then this crush of cameras, this was last night. The 19-year-old turned himself in for a case in Toronto in Canada. Police there have charged Bieber with assaulting a local limo driver for an incident back on December 30th. And there is another possible case. The LA County Sheriff's Department raided Bieber's mansion looking for evidence he might have egged his neighbor's house. Remember the alleged $20,000 in damage from egging? Joining me now, HLN's Nancy Grace. And so, Nancy Grace, we now, have these 3 active cases in 3 separate parts of the continent. But first in Miami, we know that he took these breathalyzer tests, and a source says they were under the legal limit. Then you have, we're learning about the Xanax, we're learning about the pot at the time of his arrest. How do the other drugs play into that DUI charge?
Well, here's the problem. Just because you're not at the legal limit, if you are driving under the influence or driving impaired, you've still got a problem, especially as a 19-year-old when you're not supposed to be drinking at all. That puts him driving impaired with the Xanax, but that's going to end up being his word and all the witnesses' words against the cop, because it's going to turn on his actions. Did he seem or act impaired? Because the amount of drugs or alcohol in his system is negligible. And another thing about those charges, I'm not so sure that he was really up to speeds of 60 miles an hour in that neighborhood, which I consider to be one of the most serious allegations. I don't think that's going to amount to a hill of beans. But if you look at the big picture, you've got Toronto, LA, Miami Beach. It sounds like a tour leg. It's not. It's where he's going to have court appearances. Now, the one that might cost him the most is LA.
Why?
Now, where I come from, you get an egg on your front door. Okay, you hose it off. But
This
out
is
there
felony
in California,
vandalism.
Yeah, out there in California, oh yeah, it's going to be eco paint. They're going to have to remove the egg in a hazmat outfit. Isn't an organic egg. And then they're going to have their fancy paint that costs a lot of money. So, that's going to cost him. But money's like water to him. That means nothing.